So what are you seeing out of Josh Woods so far in spring?
Oh, Josh has been exceptional. We got to keep him healthy. You know, the day he got hurt, I'm going to say this, he had his best practice as a Bruin. I mean, he was special that day. You know, I want to see him just keep going, keep asserting himself, and I think, you know, he has a bright future in this program. Just got to keep him healthy.
What have you seen from Mike so far? I know you've been
Mike's been great. You know, he's still working through two barriers. You know, the conditioning barrier in terms of getting up to this level of the pace and the intensity of college football, and then also the learning barrier, just in the sense that it's a lot of new learning for him in terms of concepts and techniques and schemes. So once we get him working through those two things, and it's great to have him here early. So this is kind of our test run. So when we get back into the fall camp, he'll be ready to hit the ground running.
How does doing more of a 4-3 change things for your linebackers and how you're teaching them?
Well, we're doing the same thing. I think, you know, that whole 4-3-3-4 thing is way overblown. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff. We're just trying to do it better, you know, more so than anything. You know, when you look at, you know, self-scouts and things like that in the off-season in terms of just breaking down the nuts and bolts of our defense, it wasn't a lot of times our scheme like, oh, we're just outmanned or messed up schematically. It's just us playing it better. So more or less just focusing on taking this camp to focus on playing better fundamentals, better techniques across the board, and less about, you know, 4-3 or 3-4. We're going to kind of do what we've been doing. We just have to do it better.
I mean, it sounds like something you would say after in any spring practice, though. Is there anything unique to what you guys are doing now that is more of an emphasis than maybe in past years?
I think more or less this year we're trying to shrink it down a little bit, not get too over the top in terms of installing plays every day. You know, we're going to put in what we're going to do. We know what we're going to do, what we're going to hang our hat on as a defense, and just keep repping that and keep exposing the guys to that. So all the different scenarios, all the different possibilities are going to show up right out here so we can work through it. And not just be installing to install. That's been a big emphasis for us as a staff.
So in past years, maybe you did more installing in this phase?
No question. I mean, we do a lot at them, and it's hard a lot of times because you go back and you look, okay, you put in 50 plays in spring, that's just throwing a number out, and then you look back at what you actually done during the actual season, and it's much less than that. So we're just getting back to doing what we do and just trying to, like I said, do it better.
Did you guys talk about doing that? Did you talk about that change and reasoning behind it as a staff, or how did that all come about?
Yeah, we talked about it as a staff this offseason.
Have you had any surprises in your position here in spring? Guys are really stepping up.
I don't know if surprises is the right word, but there's some guys definitely have been standing out. As you guys know, Jayon Brown has been exceptional. He's picked up right where he's left off, and just keep, like I said, just keep doing it better and better. So that'd be one guy really that stood out.
Where has Jayon improved, you know, from this time last year to now?
Oh, in every way, across the board. I mean, he's more comfortable. Tackle. He's much more of a vocal leader. He's out there a lot of times with young guys, so he's got that onus on him now to take those guys and get them lined up, control things, and he's taking to it like a fish to water, just being assertive and just doing all the little things right, you know, and being a more mature young man and not changing at the same time because he is kind of a happy-go-lucky kid, but just being, when we're out here, more business-like, and I think you've seen that and he's benefited from that this spring ball.
Is it nice to have that, you know, with the big crop of young linebackers that you have?
Oh, no question. Anytime you have young guys coming in and young guys that you're really counting on because the numbers are so low, you need those veteran guys that have been here to help kind of string them along, you know. And obviously, some of those young guys aren't out here, and that kind of hurts us. But having those steady presence like Jayon to come in there and hold the fort down when we're short on numbers, you see he's taken every rep in the past few practices. So having those frontliners like that really helps.
How do you break down the mic competition right now?
Oh, it goes back and forth. It's something that's going to go, I think, all the way into the fall. You know, I think hopefully what we end up having is two guys that are capable in there to start. You know, Kenny has made a lot of improvement just in terms of applying coaching and understanding the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of times where last year it's like he's trying to sort it out on the fly and everything's real delayed, everything's real hesitant. So I think he's cutting it loose more and more. He's attacking downhill and understanding what's going on around him. That's been a big emphasis for us with him in the offseason.
And what does Isako bring to the table when he's in there?
Isako has a great feel for the game. He does a great job in the run game. We got to get his pass feel and route progression a little bit better, but he's doing a great job. He's a great leader. He's probably our most natural leader in the group. He's a guy that just brings that calming presence and a guy that is always ready to play. That's something I really love about him. You can start him off and he's cold on the bench, and you bring him right in, he gets right down to business. That's something I really like about Isaac.
What have you seen out of Lokeni so far?
Man, Lokeni's been great. you know, he's got a maturity about him. You know, it's something where all this stuff hasn't been overwhelming to him. You know, and even the guys said it. They don't look at him really as a freshman just because how he's gone about his business each day. And he's got a really bright future here.
The defense have to run at the end of practice because you lost the competition to them?
Yeah, that's what
it?
that was.
What was it?
I think 3-2 on third down stuff, so we lost. So which is fine. That's the first one they got. We'll let them have that.
Just to build their confidence.
I don't know. We lost. You know, so whatever that is, they got after us today. Did a better job. Hey, that's what it is. Good.
Cool.